I'm Christine, creator of pointy-toe shoe inserts that fit inside this part of the shoe to keep your brand new shoes from creasing, bending, or flipping up on the ends. They also help old shoes. If these were old and this was all bent and flipped up, you just shove it up in there and it'll fill it back out. You might see a little line if there was a crease, but it'll be all filled out and pretty again. But here today, I'm here to talk to you to help about, to help keep your feet from sticking when you wear flats, heels, and pumps without tights or nylons, which most of us do, especially in the warmer months. But sometimes towards the end of the day or in the middle of the afternoon, you'll find that your feet have swollen a little bit, and that's natural. And they get sweaty, so it's very uncomfortable. And your feet are sticking inside your shoes while you're walking, and they feel tight and awful. So I have a little remedy for that, and it is simply baby powder. Now I just want to talk about baby powder for a second because it's made with talc. And talc has gotten a bad rap because it causes uterine cancer, or it can cause uterine cancer. But that's because women do or have been putting it in their lady parts to keep them fresh and dry. So don't put it in your lady parts. Or if you do, don't do that anymore. But anyway, it's perfectly fine on your feet, in your shoes. And it's also, by the way, in lots of cosmetics, eyeshadows, foundations, all kinds of cosmetics contain talc. So I just wanted to say that about the baby powder, my little disclaimer. So what I like to do, and this is especially great to do after the gym, like if you worked out at the gym and you have to put your regular clothes back on, you just put some baby powder, just a little bit. If you put too much, you can always dump it out in a garbage can, because sometimes it'll just come pouring out for some reason. And so I just put a little bit. And because you want to evenly distribute it, especially get it in this front part of the shoe, at least for me anyway, where your toes are all sweaty and crammed together. And I just slap the shoes together like that. And then if there's a lot, I will hit them together in this direction. And this distributes the powder down the length of the shoe. So it's very comfortable. And if your shoes are black like these and you get baby powder everywhere, just simply take it off. And while we're talking about the gym, sort of, like I said, if you had to put these on after your workout, if you do the same in your athletic shoes, before you put your shoes back in your locker or the gym bag, do the same thing. Sprinkle a little baby powder in there, slam both the shoes together, and it absorbs the moisture and the smell, and your athletic shoes will never smell. I have been doing this for years. And also your gym bag won't smell, and it won't have that extra moisture where your tennis shoes can't breathe, and maybe they're going to be in there for hours before you take them out, at the end of the day. Or maybe you just throw your gym bag on the floor and take them out the next day. So guys can do this too. It's a great little hack. Even though you wear socks with these shoes, usually you sweat a lot, when you're working out. So you sweat more than your socks can absorb. So the shoe will be sweaty as well. So just do that. It'll keep your shoes really fresh until you wear them out and need to toss them away. Keeps your gym bag fresh. So that brings me to one last point. If you're a man or a man who wears shoes without socks, I just want to say I dated a guy one time, and he had this pair of leather slip-ons he wore every single day. I was working in Europe at the time, so it was quite warm. It was during the summer, and one time he took off those shoes, and he never wore socks with them, and oh my God, I wanted to leave the room. So they can do the same thing. They can put baby powder in their shoes, but there are other products in case they think that's too girly. Things like you can get at the drugstore, the supermarket like this. These kind of powders are made out of cornstarch and baking soda, that you cook with. So they're more grainy and rough, and so they won't give you as smooth of a feel. They're fine for your athletic shoes, but if you want that nice smooth feel and that pretty baby powder scent, use the baby powder. But you might want to recommend this to your guy, or if you just want to slip some in there into his shoes. Anyway, or they might even have more manly products available now, so he doesn't feel like, oh, I have baby powder and whatever. So anyway, those are my tips for keeping your shoes from sticking to your feet. And that goes for shoes that are not too stretched out, obviously. If they're stretched out, they're not going to stick. But I will leave it at that. And thank you very much for listening. And again, I created these pointy-tails, little shoe inserts that fit in that little pointed toe section of your shoe to keep them nice and pretty like this never worn shoe. Okay, thank you for listening.